June 2014, after 30 years working in this industry, I was convicted of terrorism. I, of course, wasn't in jail. I was convicted in absentia, but my colleagues were rounded up, and they were put in a cage. They were journalists and were treated like terrorists. They were put in solitary confinement. 2 of them were put in a maximum security prison. For what? They had a pen or a camera, not an RPG. They were punished because the Egyptian government didn't like our truth. If the Egyptian government hadn't written it themselves. The US Secretary of State at the time, John Kerry, under Obama, had gone to Cairo the day before our verdict was announced, and he'd been given quiet assurances that it would be not guilty, and in fact he'd given a press conference the day before the trial ended, where he said, "We believe that Egypt is on the roadmap to democracy." Apparently, when he heard the verdict, you could hear his anger from one end of the US Embassy to the next. And actually, the year after our guys were thrown in prison, the Obama administration did step up. Every time they met Egyptian officials, they said, "You must release the guys, you must get them out of prison." That was, until it was described to me by one of the inner court of John Kerry, ISIS sucked the oxygen out of the room. What he meant by that was, then the US needed Egypt. No longer was the free press, was freedom of speech as important as security. At that point, we were a luxury they couldn't afford or they wouldn't afford. Of course, my colleagues were eventually released.